Yesterday was a day of celebration and reflection here in D.C. and around the globe as the world marked Mandela Day. That's the day honoring the life and work of former South African President Nelson Mandela, who is celebrating his 95th birthday. The celebrations are not yet over. Tomorrow night, the Embassy of South Africa is hosting a special event in honor of the anti-apartheid leader.
Of the world. And so it just made our celebrations across the world, and especially in Washington, D.C., so much more joyful. Otherwise, it may have been quite somber.
You are opening the embassy to this event over the course of the weekend. Tell me a little bit about that.
Look, I think we are looking forward to having things to do. Invade a little piece of South Africa here in Washington. We know that it's young professionals coming together, networking, and getting to share information and all of those kind of things. And it's just wonderful that we can meet them with some traditional South African hospitality, with what we call a braai or what you'd call a barbecue. But I think amongst that, the fact that they come to pay tribute to Nelson Mandela says that Nelson Mandela speaks to more than past generations. He speaks to future generations. His legacy and his values are probably the stuff of which new professions are going to be made. It's a different set of tactics and strategies that could be taken to the boardrooms, that could be taken to the stock exchanges, that could be taken to hospitals and so forth. It's a real empathy that I think Mr. Mandela brings to his life and that can be taken by young professionals.
Greg.
I remember back in '94 when we had the first election, I was sitting on the floor in the embassy, handing out the monitor.
We are very happy as South Africa that one of the things we've chosen to do in DC is to spend a Saturday afternoon or evening with us on a piece of South Africa. As you can see, this is not one where you require any visas without the other. Blacks cannot be without whites and vice versa. And men cannot be without women and vice versa. And human beings can't be without the entire creation and vice versa. And that's the profound philosophy on which Mr. Mandela and his movement, the African National Congress, and his country, South Africa, has based their entire philosophy of struggle. As young professionals, mostly of DC, the capital city, I believe that those are not simply political lessons. I believe those are lessons that go into the classroom, that go into the boardroom, that go into the games room, and that go into any room where people interact with each other. He understood that the heart is a finite organ. If you put more hatred in it, there's less place for love. If you put revenge in it, there's no place for compassion. And therefore, you've got to choose what it is that you fill your heart with. If you choose to fill your heart with anger, you make less place for positive energy. If you choose to fill your heart with vengeance, you have no place for love. And so those are the really important values that we come to celebrate here today. And so we know, as a South African embassy, that we are on a mission in the capital of the only superpower in the world. Humbly we say that we may have, because of Mr. Mandela, superpower status of our own. Because when the world sees the limitations of sorting things out militarily, they will turn to Mr. Mandela. If the world sees the limitations of grandstanding, they will turn to the compassion of Mr. Mandela. If the world sees the limitations of asserting yourself and intervening wherever you want to just because you have the might, they will turn to Mr. Mandela and they will look at his history to see what it is as a whole. We know that it was probably not many of you, but certainly those who are a little bit older even than Greg, who refused then to drink our wine, and we hope you enjoy it today. Who refused then to eat of our food, and we hope you enjoy that today. Who refused to participate in our culture then, and we hope that you enjoy it today. Because today is a day for celebration. BBC has said that South Africa is one of the 5 places in the world that you must visit before you die. Those who have visited can expect their death at some time in the future. But I can tell you, your death will be far more satisfactory for having seen South Africa. You will know that you're alive. Where else can you eat the best seafood in a cave and 10 meters away, 5 whales are playing? Where else can you fly in a helicopter over the ocean and see a school of dolphins really just frolicking in the water? Where else can you go, as in Soweto, where they've turned the cooling towers into a bungee jump adventure between those cooling towers? The bad news is it's probably going to cost you something like $20 to do a bungee jump there. If you forgo the rope, it's free. And so I really want to exhort you. You have now been on a piece of South Africa. The next step is that you must go to the real South Africa. There is much that you can see, much that you can do, and there is so much salvation for the human soul there. Thank you very much. Welcome and enjoy yourself.